He's here to introduce his favorite games. From 100 to 1, he'll explain every one. Action, trivia, fantasy, and more. Stay tuned to see what's in store, so you can play the game, play the game, play the game. Yeah.
Hooray and huzzah! My name is Tom Vasel.
Jason Levine.
And Jason's here to give us his top 10 games of all time. We've been going through his 100. We've been working our way through it. It's been a long, tedious process. And maybe not. But I've been trying to guess what Jason's top 10 are. And I had guessed that Dominion, Race for the Galaxy, Terra Mystica, and El Grande were on the list. But those were earlier. Although 3 of those 4 were in his top 20. So I was close. So
Yes.
feeling good. There's one game on my list here that I don't know that you even be in your top 10. Because I was a little shaky in that one. But the other ones I'm feeling pretty confident about. And actually one I just was hoping was in your top 10. And I think it must be since you haven't mentioned it yet. But I would be surprised. Let's get into this top 10.
Can't wait for everyone to see what my... I mean, you notice I'm wearing my Everything is Awesome shirt because these ones
they're all Lego games.
These ones are the epitome of awesome.
Tell me I'm right. Tell me I'm right.
My number 10 is Le Havre.
Whoa, I didn't put that one on my list. But see, I didn't know you like that as much as I do. Because I love Le Havre.
I love Le Havre. I think it's the best Uwe game. I mean, we talked about Agricola, and I said why I like Agricola better than Caverna.
Which is heresy, but okay.
But Le Havre is even better than them all. Le Havre is the best game that he's done.
Okay.
Le Havre is incredible. Every game is slightly different because of... There's 2 aspects that change, or 3 aspects.
The special buildings.
The special buildings change. Also, the order that the buildings come out change because you shuffle it. It affects it. And also, the order that the resources come out.
Which I don't know that that's that big of a deal. But
no, but those are the 3 changing aspects of the game. Other than that, every game is the same. Every game it's straight. You collect resources. You buy buildings. You move pieces to actions to do actions from the buildings. It is great. It is phenomenal. If you like Uwe Rosenberg, this is the game you should get from him. This is, I think, his definitive game, Le Havre. It is wonderful.
It's a hard call for me to make between that and Caverna, but yes, it's an excellent game. Certainly check it out.
Yes.
All right, well, I got 6 out of 9, so my chances are still good. Go ahead.
Okay, my number 9 is Dice Masters.
All right. That's 1. But see, I was kind of guessing on that one because I knew you liked Dice Masters. But I make his top 10. Well, he's always talking about it, so sure.
Come on, I've collected everything. You know how much I like Dice Masters.
We are the Dice Master duo.
We are. We
beat Eric Lang and Mike Elliott and then almost beat him again.
We beat him 1 out of 2. I looked back at our second game. If someone, when he was buying all those magic missiles, would have used my red dragon power, we would have doinked them a few times.
If they would have done something in the first game, they may have won too.
True,
so.
But we could have won that second game if someone bought his magic missiles using my red dragon power.
Result, anyway, but it doesn't matter.
Either way, Dice Masters is incredible. I loved Quarriors. I remember when Quarriors came out and Tom brought it to us and said, "Hey, check out this game. It's like Dominion but with dice," and it was incredible. But Dice Masters takes it to a whole different level. It makes it more a strategic game, more like Magic, a battle game. It's got the coolest dice. It's got the coolest characters, whether it's the Marvel ones, whether it's the DC ones, the Dungeons and Dragons.
Ooh, and they just announced a new Dungeons and Dragons set, so you should be happy.
I knew that set too. I knew that.
Well, they just announced it officially.
Okay,
so
they announced it officially. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming soon. We can't say enough good things. You guys have seen us live play this many times. This game is phenomenal. No matter what set comes out, I want the whole set. Every single set I want.
Well, that's the sickness. That's the sickness.
It is.
You should see a doctor.
And we were talking about collectibles. I usually don't like collectibles, but this one I get everything. I love it. I love it. I love it. Marvel Dice Masters, everyone should play it. If you ever see us and we have our sets around, come play with us. I'll play with you anytime.
Okay.
My number 8 is Robo Rally.
Okay, that is not on my list. I did not realize that was that high on your list.
I love Robo Rally.
Okay, well, apparently it's in number 8.
Okay, I think Robo Rally is Richard Garfield's best game. I mean, everyone talks about Magic. Everyone knows him as Mr. Magic. But Robo Rally he designed before Magic, if people don't realize, even though he released it after Magic, after the sets of Magic, he released it. It's a programmable game. You program robots. They all move around the board. They're bumping into each other. They're shooting each other. It's also a race game. You're racing around trying to get the flags. Every board is cool. There's like pits that you can fall into. There's conveyor belts that you go on. It is just a fabulous game.
I will say, you may have had a bad experience with Robo Rally, who may be watching. Do realize that you should always play with a small track, because the long track is just ridiculously, it takes forever and it's not that interesting. A short track that crisscrosses is where the game is at.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah, I mean, you can play with 2 boards and have just as much fun. I know at WBC in the finals, they usually do like 4 boards, and it's this crazy thing.
That's not even fun for me.
Takes 3 to 4 hours, but you can play 2 boards in an hour. Obviously, it depends on where the flags. I mean, if you're like me and you want to make it fun, you put the flags in the most difficult spot where it's going to take like people they're going to fall in a pit, they're going to roll off a thing, and it's going to take them ages to get the flag. The tech upgrades,
So he doesn't like people, is what he's saying.
No, but there's other times where I make it easy when I want a short game of it. But then the easy game is like, you just race through it, and everyone should hit every flag along the way. I love the tech upgrades. When you go to the double wrench and you get the tech upgrades, everything about this game, Robo Rally is awesome.
Well, there you have it.
My number 7 is another race game, Formula Day.
No. Wow.
Yes. Did you pick any of my top 10 yet?
Yeah.
Dice Masters you picked.
Masters.
Formula Day. Come on, you know how much I love this game?
No, I don't know how much. Okay, well, now I do.
I've won this game 5 times and WBC champion. I thought you knew this.
Wow.
I love this game. I have every track ever made for this game. Everything about
I like it too, but there's 2 problems with it. One, it really slows down when people sit there and count out every space.
Well,
I don't allow that.
You shouldn't count out every space.
Then how can you win it so often? Because there's luck, obviously, then.
You mitigate. Well, when you look at a turn, the numbers are right on the turn. It says the longest the turn is 18, the shortest is 11.
You're just going to miss the turn.
Yes, and when you miss the turn, either you have to redline into it or, oops, you missed a turn, and then that's when you have to double downshift and you have all the bad things to happen. But sometimes you're going to hit the turn, sometimes you're going to miss the turn. But no, I don't win every time. There's a lot of times where I lose the game too. I mean, there was one time where I crashed out in the first turn because I rolled 4 ones on my body checks.
By the way, the game is called Formula D now because they've replaced it with a much nicer version.
Okay, yes, they did replace it with Formula D. That's true. But this game, what I love the gears. I love the fact that each die has different gears. So when you're in first gear, you're rolling a pyramid, a D4, but it only has a 1 and a 2. When you're in second gear, you're rolling a D6. Third gear is a D8. Fourth gear,
etc. So up to
the
30th
the big
gear,
30th, the 30-sider.
Gear is a 30-sided die.
But it actually has from 21 to 30, so you're moving more. So the gears really feel you have to be in turns for a certain amount. Everything about this game, if you like racing, if you like games, if you like anything about racing, Formula D or Formula Day, Formula D, the newer version from Asmodee that you can actually purchase still, wonderful, amazing, awesome, great racing game.
All right.
My number 6 game of all time is Star Wars: The Queen's Gambit.
Okay, now we're running into problems.
How did you not have that on your list?
Because I didn't think it was in your top 10. I thought it was like in your top 30.
Oh, okay.
I kneu you liked it a lot. I didn't think it was in your top 10 games, though.
We live played this recently.
Did you say Star Wars Risk?
No, I've already dubbed Star Wars Risk as Baby Gambit because it's nowhere near as good as Queen's Gambit. I'm sorry for you out there who wanted to get Queen's Gambit. You're still gonna have to pay your ridiculous.
But this is still fun.
Oh, it's
Star
still
Wars
fun.
Still
but
works.
you're still gonna have to pay your $300 to get Queen's Gambit because unfortunately,
you don't have to.
Well, if you want the better game with the 3D, with the minis. Or you could wait for the black box Star Wars Risk, which is still not going to be as good because Star Wars Risk isn't.
Okay.
It's not as good of a game. It's good. It's a good game.
I'm saying you're going down a rabbit trail. Star Wars Queen's Gambit is a game about Episode 1 of Star Wars, and there are 4 different battlefields going on that you have to play cards and try to control the 4 different battlefields: lightsaber duel, Gungan battlefield, Anakin smashing the spaceship, and then the Theed Palace. and you're doing them all with tons of plastic miniatures and dice. It's super light. That's why I would be surprised it was in your top 10.
It's not super light.
It's fairly light.
I like it. I like out of all the games in that whole series from Battlecry to Memoir 44. I love it the best. I love the theme on it. It actually, if it makes the movie better.
Do you win this game often?
A decent amount. Not against
watch
you.
The live play.
Not against Tom. I didn't win. But this makes I actually like Gungans after playing this game, and I hated Jar Jar.
Sorry, I can't
but
even fix that.
This is the definitive thing for Star Wars Phantom Menace, because it is the best Star Wars game ever, and it is something that should be in everyone's collection if they could afford it.
All right. Okay, I have 5 games left on my list, so these should be your top 5. Here we go.
You should be perfect then. This is going to be a perfect 5 for 5.
Here we go.
Let's start off with one of my other favorite designers of all time. Number 5 is Through the Ages.
Wow.
Vlada Chvátil.
I didn't put that on my list because I put a different game in the same genre, which I'm going to assume is not on your list then. If you put Through the Ages. Is Through the Ages your favorite Civilization game?
It might be. Let me look. Yes, it is.
Well, then, see, I put Civilization on my list because I thought you'd like that old.
No,
beast of the
Civilization
game.
is old and beastly.
Okay.
I like Civilization, but no, Through the Ages is
I thought of Through the Ages.
the best
but I thought,
Civ game.
It's like Civilization.
No,
better.
Vlada is a genius.
Are you excited about the new version then?
Yes, I can't wait. It's streamlined. Personally, I didn't like Nations that much. I mean, I liked Nations, but I didn't like it as much. And I'm hoping that the streamlined version of Through the Ages is what Nations wanted to be, is what I'm really hoping for. But I love Through the Ages. It is your civ building, you're worried about your population, you're worried about so many things that you have to take care of along the way, and it is one of the definitive Euros of this age. It is a game that everyone should have in their collection. If you like civ building at all, Through the Ages is the game of civ building.
All right. Cool. Well, I'm going to call that last one there kind of an almost, right? Okay.
Yeah, we'll call it an almost.
All right, go ahead. Number 4.
My number 4 is War of the Ring.
What is this?
What?
Okay, well, we're going to talk about why these games aren't on your list, but go ahead.
War of the Ring.
It's an amazing game.
I already said Battle of the Five Armies I like, but War of the Ring I love better. I have the collector's edition.
I understand that. I just figured it wasn't in your top 10, like top 20 or 30.
Come on. You have everything.
Yes, I was supposed to match.
You have.
We know that.
I mean, how many games in my list have been card-driven games? This is a card-driven game.
A lot. This is a dice-driven game, but all right.
It's a dice-driven and card-driven. The cards mean a lot. It's also The Lord of the Rings, and it tells the story. You have the hobbits moving through. You have the shadow forces coming to attack Rohan and Gondor, and you have everything. You have corruption. You have the Eye of Sauron corrupting. You have, if you make it to the end as the hobbits, you have Frodo dunking the ring into Mount Doom. I have the collector's edition with the painted minis, with the wood box, with everything. I have the regular edition too. I have everything for this. Every expansion, everything. It is that good. It is that good. Such a phenomenal game. Phenomenal theming, phenomenal game, phenomenal everything. War of the Ring is just plain awesomeness.
All right. Okay. There's no question that I have 2 of your top 3. No question in my mind. Go ahead.
Well, here's number 3. Let's see if this is on there too. My number 3 game of all time is Diplomacy.
Yeah, got it. Boom. I knew that. He likes this beast of a game that makes people hate each other.
It's not a beast of a game.
It is definitely a beast of a game, and it definitely makes people hate each other.
It does make people hate each other.
I've definitely seen people get mad at you specifically during this game.
Yes.
Actually, that doesn't really differentiate from many other games.
But Diplomacy it's a pure game. There's actually not much to the game. There's only like 4 different things you could do in the game. You could either move a piece, you could support another piece, you could convoy a piece, which is moving a piece, army piece across the water, or you could hold your piece in order. There's only 4 moves you can do.
Essentially is not even in one of the things you can do, because if you don't pick anything, you hold the piece.
Hold your piece. So there's only 4 things you can do in this game. The rules are as simple as possible. The whole game is
is not simple, though. Okay, and that's what you need to be clear about.
I was about to say that. The whole game is in the communication and how you work with the other people. Because I might go to Tom and say, why don't we do this and we'll work together and I'll support you. But then I might go talk to Sam and say, hey, Sam, I told Tom I'm going to support him here. You attack him and I'll support you for real.
Then Sam and me work together and destroy Jason.
And then I find my pieces crushed in.
Neither one of us would play diplomacy in the first place because we learned our lesson.
But it is just pure diplomacy. That's why the game is named diplomacy, I think, because it is just pure diplomacy. It's pure about how you can work with people. Personally, I don't think that backstabbing is the philosophy in the game. I think the best thing is I like to work with an ally and work with them and work up. I only like to backstab if someone leaves themselves open, but I don't go into the game going, I'm going to backstab someone. I don't think that's the best way to go into the game. I think the best way is to go in and try to work with people and try to make an alliance and work with your ally throughout the game. I think it makes it easier because you can't work alone. In this game, you can't work alone. If you backstab someone, they're going to hate you. They're going to want to fight you back. And then the other people that you're fighting with also are going to want to fight you. So it's better to work with an ally in this game. But diplomacy is just phenomenal. It is awesome.
All right. All right, go ahead here.
My number 2 game of all time is Puerto Rico.
Yep, got it.
I knew you would have it.
For some reason, I thought that was your number 1, but all right.
No, it's my number 2. And this is the epitome of...
You use that word too often.
Euro games. This is the epitome of Euro games.
You already said Le Havre is the epitome of Euro games.
No, it's the epitome of Uwe Rosenberg games.
Okay, all right. Yes, Puerto Rico is a very pure game, I think.
Yes, there's no luck. There's one piece of luck in it. Like Diplomacy, the game before where there's no luck, it's all skill. This also, there's the only thing of luck is which of the plantations come out each turn.
Which is very little
luck. This is all skill. You determine what actions you're going to take. You determine what you're going to do. Yes, you have to figure out what the best action is based on what other people might also do. So you might want to do your actions based on what I think they're going to do this, so I'm going to do that. So, but there's no luck in this game. This game is all skill. It's San Juan was on my list, which is the card version of it. This is the real version of it. I think it's a game that should be in 100% of everyone's collection. 100% of the people, you guys should have this in your collection. If you don't have it in your collection, you should go out and get this game immediately. It is that good of a game. It is the definitive Euro game of all time. Puerto Rico.
Okay. All right. Number 1. I don't think I have it now because I don't think the ones I put on here would be a number 1. But go ahead.
I don't know. You know what game I talk about a lot.
Oh.
You've never played it with me. I know you hate it, but my number 1 game of all time is 1830.
Oh, good. Well, okay, I cheated. I put 18XX.
Well, okay. When I say 1830, I mean 18XX, but obviously, as you're looking below, it doesn't say 18XX, so it probably says 1830 Francis Tresham, but Francis Tresham has designed a lot of 18X games, and I love so many 18X games. I think 18X is one of the purest games. There is no luck. Again, this, as you've noticed in my top games, no, there is a ton of fun in this game. There is a ton of fun. You are collecting stocks, you're building track, you're owning companies, you are building trains, making the map of trains is great. Also, getting the stock, saying, oh, I don't want this company anymore, I think I'm going to dump it, but I'm going to rip all the money out of the company first and then dump it, and, oh, here, Tom, have this company that has no more money left because I gave all the money out to the shareholders. And there is so much. It's got economics. It is the pinnacle of economic games. It is Economics 101. This is a game that if you want to learn how to handle stock markets, handle all that, 1830 or any of the 18X games are the game you should get. I know a new one is coming out now. GMT is doing 1846. They're actually doing it as a P500. I've already P500'd it because it's one of the ones that I didn't have because I don't like the Deep Thought so much with the cheap foam core boards. I like the mounted ones. I loved Mayfair ones. Mayfair put out 4 of them or 5 of them. Obviously, Avalon Hill did. And 1830 is my favorite game of all time.
Oh, good. Well, I got its top 3. I thought I would. Here's the one game I wrote on my top 10 that you didn't pick and I thought would be there, and I put Advanced Squad Leader.
No.
Well, I didn't know if you liked that one or not. I knew you liked those heavy war games. I thought
no.
Advanced Squad Leader.
Advanced Squad Leader is a good game, but it's not. It's outdated. I mean, we talk about games that are outdated, not outdated, but Advanced Squad Leader was phenomenal at the time. It is a true hex movement game.
Let me see your top 10 real quick here.
And my hex movement games are not. Hex movement is not my all-time favorite style. I didn't put many hex movement games in my list because they're kind of outdated. Those like old Grognard war games, they were very good games at the time, 20, 30 years ago, but now they're not in the same league. But my favorite games, as you saw, are phenomenal, whether they're Euro or war style or negotiation style like diplomacy or economic style 1830. They're all over the map, and they're all phenomenal games.
Well, Jason, thank you very much for going through your top 100 games with us, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. He certainly has a different taste than the rest of the Dice Tower contributors, all over the place with liking heavier Euro games. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you, sir, for doing it.
Yes.
We'll see you guys next time, somewhere, somehow, someplace. Come back to the Dice Tower and see all our great reviews, or our reviews of great games, I guess.
Yep.
Until then, Tom Vasel and
Jason Levine.
We're done here.